Howdy folks, Eric here back with another standard brew. Today we are on Esper Sozin Control, a sort of Peter Parker's camera, aka phenomena recorder, board control kind of shell, featuring the Rise of Sozin, a card I'm a pretty big fan of. It's popped up in a few of my lists so far. 6 mana saga, enters, destroy all creatures. It has, on its second ability, choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, exile them, then that player shuffles. And then flip it, and it becomes a 5/5 menace with firebending, where you get to recur your opponent's creatures from their graveyard. So a pretty good win con in and of itself, and the fact that it wipes the board lets it fit really nicely as a control finisher that is not really like competing with your board wipes. You get the best of both worlds essentially, right? So you get to extra invest in being board wipe centric, which is actually pretty good in the current meta, answering these big Ouroboros, Badgermole Cub boards, so on and so forth. And then like being able to like take the Ouroboros out of your opponent's deck, or take the Quantum Riddlers out of their deck, or the Frostcliff Sieges, or whatever their win con is essentially, is pretty relevant, I think. We're also on this sort of phenomena recorder, Peter Parker's camera, enhanced shell, synergistic shell. A card I like quite a lot. You can comes in with 3 counters, spend 2 mana and tap it to copy triggers of abilities you control. And we have a lot of triggers in our removal. We're on 4 Bezas that also trigger nicely, 4 Aang's Iceberg, 4 Seam Rips. And also I kind of like the idea of, this is the reason I built the deck, basically. The idea of copying the Rise of Sozin's second ability, where it's like, okay, you take their first win con, you take the Ouroboros out of their deck, but what if you get 2 like big hits out of their deck at the same time? Like say you're against Reanimator and you name Arden and this 8 mana demon. It's like, okay, well, they actually just can't win the game at that point, basically. Kind of an interesting idea. The rest of the deck's pretty straightforward. A lot of removal, a lot of board wipes, 1 Virtue of Persistence for long games, 4 Get Lost, 4 Day of Judgment, Deadly Cover-Up, couple Ultima, and a Singularity Rupture. We're on 27 lands, a whopping 27 lands, and the idea is here that the way that we win against control is hitting our land drops, ramping with the Phenomena Recorder, Demolition Field, Fabled Passage plan, and eventually just milling our opponent out with Restless Reefs. That is kind of the idea. All of our counter magic is in the sideboard instead of being on like No More Lies in the main, which is a pretty, good counter spell. It doesn't super duper cut it in the control matchup, so I've built this in such a way that I'm like strong against the board oriented decks in the main board because I expect to run into that more. And then rather than being on No More Lies, we get the more definitive outright counterspells in the sideboard for control. So 4 Disdainful Stroke, 4 Negate, couple Riverturn Monument as an alternative win con, 2 Elspeths, and 3 Rest in Peace. All pretty good, I think. I'm going to hop into some ranked matches on the ladder here. There's a chance I only play 1, depending on how long it goes. I'm going to aim for 3. Hopefully things roll pretty smoothly here, and I'll be able to knock those out. All right, starting out on the play. Pretty good hand here. We have our turn 3 fetch with the Fabled Passage and ramp with the Phenomena Recorder play, which is pretty good. And then we can access turn 4, double Aang's Iceberg on something. Just expect to kind of be a draw-go kind of deck. Not a whole lot of raw card advantage here outside of the board wipes, right? The idea here is that the board wipes act as our card advantage against these really, heavily invested into the board kind of strategies. Okay, there's a Paw Patch recruit from our opponent after hanging out for a little bit. I still think I like the Fabled Passage ramp idea, and then we get to Day of Judgment. I'd say we're set up pretty nicely here. We can hold up this Get Lost if we want it. We probably won't. I think this is a pretty sweet shell. I love the flexibility of Phenomena Recorder, and like actually ramping in these colors is kind of big game. Helps us find our colors, something that Esper doesn't typically get to do, but opens up our mana quite a lot to be able to hit our board wipes, especially the more expensive ones. And I'm just going to jam. I'm going to pretty much assume that they have nothing they can do about me casting this Day of Judgment. I guess they could have like a overprotect, but they would only be able to save one creature here. Go ahead and copy this Fabled Passage ability. Grab planes. We can get double black online as well. Might as well do that. Yep, just gonna Day of Judgment here. Not much to think about here, really. Set them back to the Stone Age. And now the other sort of card advantage that we have here that plays really nicely into these decks is, once again, being able to copy these triggers from, like, Aang's Iceberg to essentially 2 for 1 every turn. So I can eat both of these if I wanted to. I mean, I might as well just seam rip this beast, to be honest with you. I don't think I need to answer the Huntsman's Redemption, but if they had another, like, cheap creature on the field, you could copy that seam rip trigger as well. Pretty sweet. No non-basics around to Demolition Field. There's an Innkeeper's Talent. Okay, we're chilling on that. No need to rush here. Rise of Sozin. Pretty good draw. I think I'm just going to pass. They'll trigger their thing. I'll hang out. Eventually I want to resolve this Rise of Sozin. Innkeeper's Talent, fine. I'm pretty sure they kind of can't beat what I'm doing here. I'm just looking for a land, to be honest with you. I guess I could cast this Beza. Probably not a huge deal if I do. I'll gain some life, maybe start hitting them. I was kind of hoping to cast it after the Rise of Sozin, but maybe this makes sense. Once again, I don't think it super matters. I still have access to this double Aang's Iceberg exile thing. Keep them off of anything relevant here. Go for it now. They might have an overprotect here. And if they do overprotect, I can actually copy this trigger on my Aang's Iceberg right now, and it'll put it on the stack before it'll resolve before their overprotect, basically. So I could exile the Llanowar Elves if I wanted to. I think I was just gonna hit the Innkeeper's Talent anyway, but they've seen enough. They've seen enough. Pretty good run, pretty good showing. Turns out mono board wipes pretty good against the green Ouroboros lists. All right, game 2, match 1 on the play. Sorry, on the draw. You know, good hand. We have double black. Oh, even better. We don't have double white to be able to cast that Day of Judgment, but we should be able to stave things off for a little while. I'm just going to seam rip this. It'll hurt a little up front, but better to get this off the board while they're tapped out, slow them down a little. They could have a pretty strong opener that, you know, if I don't draw my second white source, I might have a hard time beating. There's a Get Lost. Okay. I guess if they play an Ouroboros, I probably do have to kill it, even though it'll make their rabbits bigger. Innkeeper's Talent. Maybe I just kill the Innkeeper's Talent. I expect they'll put a counter here. Yeah, let's just Aang's Iceberg this. Keep this from getting out of control. I feel pretty good about that result. And then if I really need to, I can like sacrifice the Aang's Iceberg to get some scries going. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just give the Innkeeper's Talent back once I'm like, if the result of that is I get mana for board wipes, you know. Tyvar. Well, Aang's Iceberg lines up nicely to Tyvar. Too bad we just used it. Kind of in a rough spot here. I think I might go for like this Hail Mary play of sacrifice the Aang's Iceberg, try to scry into an untapped white source. Oh, it's 3 mana to sacrifice it. I thought it was 2. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for it anyway. Just get Lost the Elf, see if I can sneak in a board wipe here. I'm not on split up, so like tapping the Tyvar doesn't really make sense necessarily. They're going to go for that anyway. Hail Mary. Paid off. Never punished. Never didn't have it, by the way. Ouroboros. Yeah, that's fine. That's no problem for a guy like me. I can 1v1 these Boyds all day. 1 for 1. Probably just going to go for a Rise of Sozin. If I draw another land, take all like the Baloths out of their deck. Yeah, well. Probably Day of Judgment makes a little more sense. No, let's go for the Get Lost, because if they draw a Paw Patch Recruit, I'm going to have wished that I went for the single target removal there. Gene. See what they hit on top. Land. Okay, so that means we'll definitely be able to Virtue of Persistence Gene here, which is a pretty good outcome for us. Lands on lands. A little unfortunate for our opponent. There's a Flood Farm Verge. Maybe we just go for Rise of Sozin here. Get our win con online. Start taking the creatures out of their graveyard. Pretty good answer to what our opponent's doing here. Another Boyd. Not the end of the world. Beza. I think I'm just going to take them off of haste and name the Frenzied Baloth. I'm assuming they have 3 more, yeah. Scrap Shooters. Spinner of Souls, interesting. Basically just straight up mono green. 1 Tyvar left. Maybe that would have been the better thing to name, but I feel pretty good about this decision. 1 Snakeskin Veil. 1 Bossing Say. You should probably be on 4 if you could. Just in straight up mono green. Yeah, just kill the Ouroboros. Innkeeper's Talent, fine. And I'd say we've got this one pretty wrapped up. Sozin will start swinging here pretty soon. I can reanimate their Ouroboros. They'll level up their Innkeeper's Talent, but I don't think there's really a series of draws that they can hit to get out of this one. I could even just like cast this Virtue of Persistence. So that if they draw like a Scrap Shooter to kill my Sozin, I still am like pretty far ahead in that scenario, right? Grab another Swamp. Grab a Virtue of Persistence. Now Scrap Shooter won't beat this really. All right, GG's. GG's. Good showing. Nice and quick match. Let's head into the next one. All right, on the draw for match 2, I think I'm gonna have to mulligan this one. Only 2 lands and no clear way to get more. Yeah, this is much better. Let's keep the Beza and the Aang's Iceberg, I think. Ultima could obviously be good, but as far as like curving out goes and being on the draw and the potential that this is an Ouroboros list, obviously Ultima's good in that matchup, but we do need to be able to answer some of their early stuff. Okay, back at it again. Back at it again. Let's just lead on the Risen Reef here. See if we can keep up. They could have a really, really fast start. Looks like that is not what they're up to. They could still have a turn 3 Ouroboros here, but I think we could beat that. Just start playing our lands tapped here. Got to preserve some life. There's the Boyd. It's pretty big. Pretty big. Makes their guys pretty big here. Phenomena Recorder. Okay, not a bad draw, really. Sets our future Aang's Iceberg up pretty nicely. Go ahead and exile this Ouroboros before they can protect it. I'm not, like, 100% sure that we're going to win this one, but Beza will help stabilize us quite a bit. A board wipe would help stabilize us completely. Actually, if we just drew a Day of Judgment right now, we'd probably win. That's my estimation. Godless Shrine. Let's just go for the Fabled Passage here. Keep our life total high. We don't really need to ramp with the Phenomena Recorder quite yet. We have double black already. We don't really need double blue in our main board plan. Let's just get the Beza on the board. Get some chumps going. Set up into this, like, Phenomena Recorder Aang's Iceberg play here pretty soon. A little annoying maybe with the Paw Patch Recruit. Oh, there's the Boyd. Okay. Well, I have a lot of board wipes in my deck. Maybe there's some argument to, like, sacrificing this Aang's Iceberg. Waterbending the Beza. And its tokens to do so. Try to dig for a board wipe. Maybe that's a little hasty. Because I can Aang's Iceberg this Boyd as well. And they're not coming at me with the rabbits quite yet, which is kind of nice. Oh, there's a Rise of Sozin. Hey, that's pretty good. So we can play a Godless Shrine tapped, play a Phenomena Recorder. I guess I actually just goofed there a little bit. I kind of forgot about the ward from the Innkeeper's Talent. I can block here, and end up taking about 1 trillion damage. Yeah, I kind of punted this one. I'm gonna go for the no. Get me out of here. I punted. Fine. I punted. Oops. Happens to the best of us. Let's see if our deck is dominant enough that it doesn't even matter and I can just, like, recover fully and just stomp them in games 2 and 3. All right, on the play. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Only 2 lands, but with the Phenomena Recorder and Demolition Field, there's a pretty good chance that we can get a little ramp going. Plus, we have the Seam Rip to slow them down. I like this. All we need to do is draw lands for this to play out nicely. Lead on the Recorder. There's an elf. There's a land. Nice. I'm just going to Seam Rip the elf here. Actually, I'm just going to play this tapped and plan to double Seam Rip next turn. That's probably a little better if they have a Badger Mole Cub here. Drunith. Llanowar Elves. Lots of elves. Day of Judgment. Okay. I'm still going to go for the Seam Rip plan here. Try to keep them off of scary stuff, I suppose. Yeah, we'll just eat the Drunith. Keep it from getting too crazy. Maybe you could argue double elf is correct. Try to inhibit their land drop situation, but if I hit a land here and I get to Day of Judgment, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. I'd say we're pretty set up to win this one. They're down, set back to the Stone Age here. Gene Pollinator. Paw Patch Recruit. Another Day of Judgment. I'm just going to go for Beza here. Get some tokens. Can start swinging in with Beza, put some pressure on. One more land and I get to do my double Aang's Iceberg situation here. Tyvar. Not a huge problem. Deadly cover up. Okay. I guess I just exile the Tyvar here and start swinging. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. They could have like a Snakeskin Veil, but this plays around them having overprotect. Swing it for 4. Badgermole Cub. Wreck Sage. Okay. For the Ang's Iceberg on the Tyvar, probably. Well, we can sack it to Scry at least here. Another Beza. Another Beza's not terrible. We'll skip on it. Skip. And now we can basically just double board wipe, which is going to be pretty much fine through this Tyvar, I think. I could block. I'm just not going to. I don't think that 3 damage is going to be super relevant. See what we hit here. Yeah, I'm going to fire off the first board wipe here. Kind of put them in a position where they need to draw another creature that they can cast, basically. They'll be set back to 3 mana to be able to protect Tyvar in the future. Oh, they're going for the indestructible block. Okay, yeah. I guess he gets to be indestructible no matter what. And that makes sense. I don't have any instant speed removal for him. Just go for the Day of Judgment. One card. Kind of a critical draw here. Okay, cool. I'd say we probably did it. Let's go for the Deadly Cover-Up. Exiling some stuff out of our graveyard here. Doesn't really super matter what we choose. I suppose skipping on creature makes sense. We have that Virtue of Persistence. We can hopefully take all of the Tyvars out of their deck, which would simplify things a little bit. Tishana's Tidebinder to tap Tyvar to give it indestructible again. Well, okay. Kind of cool. I guess we just cut the Ouroboros out of their deck. Simplifies things as well, and we get to take a look at what's going on here. 2 detect intrusions, 2 repulsive mutations. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Play our Fabled Passage, pass it to them. See if they hit a creature here. Back to me. I kind of think I just go for an Ultima. Right? Is that crazy? If they have Detect Intrusion, it's a little annoying. I kind of feel like they just have a forest in their hand. Oh, I killed my recorder. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, I could have like sacked my Fabled Passage and done the thing beforehand. A little bit of a silly result. If I start hitting them with the Restless Reef, I could mill some Nature's Rhythms. Whoop. Which is a little maybe not ideal. But they're at 10. This is a 4/4. I guess I don't have to mill them. Yeah, I'll just mill myself here. Not that Nature's Rhythm is like super good for them right now anyway. Llanowar Elves. And they scoop it up. Nice. Good showing. Run it back. Alright, game 3 on the draw. Got to mulligan this. Not enough white mana. Which is to say there was none. This is pretty good. We have a lot of removal. And the Beza. I kind of think maybe we just skip out on the Phenomena Recorder with this hand. Need to draw a second white source and preferably another board wipe. Or just a board wipe. And I'd say we'd be pretty set. See what our opponent decides to do. It kind of seems like maybe, did they mulligan as well? No. Kept 7. Sanctum, Gene. Another Beza. Forest. Talent. Okay. Not a crazy start. Get the talent online. Play a Verge. Hold up, get lost in case they have an Ouroboros. Fabled Passage, pretty good draw. Gives us double white for our Bezas. Do we get lost this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get lost the Innkeeper's Talent. I guess I should have done that before combat if I was going to commit to it. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to get lost the Innkeeper's Talent and just Virtue of Persistence the Gene Pollinator. I think I should be okay then. I definitely should have done that before combat just to keep them off of that extra counter on the Beastbinder, but I doubt that'll be particularly relevant. Tyvar. Mills the Tyvar. Interesting. Okay, Ultima. Pretty good draw. Let's just kill off Gene here. Play our Fabled Passage. Pass it back. Boyd. Boyd's pretty good. Swings for 4. I want to draw another land. I'm going to hold off on cracking the Fabled Passage quite yet. Go for it now here. Play the Beza. Get some blockers on the field. Not going to be able to block Azure Beastbinder eventually. And if they're set up with counter magic, it could be a little annoying. But we have 2 board wipes now. We just need some land drops. Shocks themselves. Kind of makes me think they're holding up a big repulsive mutation. We'll just block the Boyd with Beza. Chump the Beastbinder. We have another Beza that we can stall with. There's a Day of Judgment. So we can either Day of Judgment now, let them counter it, and then we're not dead quite yet. Gives us another turn to draw into a land for our Ultima. And then we can probably stave off another turn as well with this backup Beza. Worst comes to worst, you know. Tidebinder, big board. This might be lethal. Land. Probably another land in hand if I had to guess. And we get to go to 1. And 1 is not dead. 1 is not dead. There's a land. Well, gonna go for the Ultima. They could have counter magic here, but I'm just gonna bank on them having a land. Let's get double black online for this future Rise of Sozin. Pretty good. Do you have a Tidebinder? No? Okay. What you got? Gene. Another land in hand, probably. Let's just get the Beza online for a little life gain here. And a treasure. Actually pretty relevant right now. I have a feeling we're going to be just fine, even through the mistake in game 1. Let's go for the Rise of Sozin. Actually, I kind of want to get the Virtue of Persistence down. It probably makes sense to go for this, I think. We have another Day of Judgment in hand. I'm not going to swing in case they counter it. Play a tap Godless Shrine, pass it back. I mean, we're getting our good matchup twice in a row, you know? Badgermole Cub, Hasty Botanical Sanctum, gets to swing for 1. I think I'm going to name Repulsive Mutation here. It's kind of the most annoying thing that they could be doing against us. Maybe it's Detect Intrusion. We've seen one Repulsive Mutation, right? Yeah, I'm going to name Detect Intrusion. Take a look at their library again. Not much has changed. One Repulsive Mutation left. Yeah, I should be able to beat this. Let's just Day of Judgment this. Not a whole lot they can draw in this position with the Virtue coming up. Play a land, pass it to you. We can always chump with our Restless Reef if we need to. You brought this upon yourself. I'm sorry. Yeah. In a way, it's somewhat true. You've participated in the Badgermole Cub meta. Now you get to participate in the result of that, the fallout. Okay, 2 matches. Flubbed the first game. Did not end up mattering. That's sort of, I guess, you know, kind of goes to show how strong of an advantage you have if you just pack your deck full of board wipes. Match number 2, kind of cruising. Or sorry, match number 3, kind of cruising. Might play a full 5 matches if this one goes swimmingly again. I think I'll keep this. Double white, Restless Reef. I'd like to see a little diversity, perhaps. Okay, well, here's my diversity. Let's see if we can win a matchup against the Jeskai control list. This might be the 3rd and final one, if this one is, like, long and grindy. I'm going to try to focus up and play this one smart here. I'd like a Peter Parker's camera. Let's pretend we have counter magic. It's not letting me hold full control. Okay, there. It's not letting me keep it on. Okay, there's a phenomena recorder. That's pretty good. I think I can wait on that. Play it when I'm able to play around, pay for the normalize. Not really in a position to need to jam this. And it's actually a pretty big game against them. It lines up nicely with our demolition field plan. You can maybe argue even that we need to be on like a Wanchi Tong with how many demolition fields we're rocking. Play the recorder. Could be pretty good. Maybe they have double normalize here. And just pass it back. Consult the star charts. Gonna probably set up into this Fabled Passage plan. Although maybe yeah, I don't feel necessarily rushed to start popping the demolition fields because they don't have any of their actual utility lands yet on the field. Multiversal Passage. Tapped. Maybe I can take him off of... probably can't take him off of red mana exactly, but... Maybe I do just pop this first one, get my double white online right away. I have 3 demolition fields. I might as well start using them. Do a bit of a basics check on them. And I don't think them having access to 5 mana here in the end step is going to be particularly relevant. Okay, well, maybe they don't have a mountain. Or maybe they just wanted another blue source. I'm gonna grab... It doesn't super matter here with all of the search I have. I might as well just grab double white. Play Fabled Passage here, pass it back. See what they got going on. Another consult the star charts. Not a huge deal. Let that resolve. Actually, maybe this is my window to double demolition field, take them off of these meticulous archives, make their mana a little worse. I think that's okay. I'm not going to be able to, like, it still ramps me, essentially. But I won't be able to pay off this Fabled Passage, but I think that's okay. I'm going to go for the double demolition field here. This plays around them, like, being able to use the extra mana to Jeskai Revelation. And once again, kind of a nice little basics check. They're probably on a pretty high amount. I would imagine they're on demolition fields of their own. Let's grab an island so we can activate the Restless Reef. And then from here on out, we pretty much just need plains. Maybe pretend I have a No More Lies. Yeah, there's a red source. Still, a little behind on mana. I think I might just hit him with another double demolition field here. Maybe I can get them to tap some mana first so that they can't Jeskai Revelation. Maybe I'll do it in their draw step. That's probably the best spot. So then even if they do Jeskai Revelation, I have a pretty good answer to it in the Rise of Sozin. Let them draw, see if they hit more basics in their hand. Go for this. They can tap some mana, get a Jeskai Revelation down, but this is not like the spot where they typically really want to be doing it. Tap this for blue. I could kind of separate these out a little bit and, you know, no, I guess because I'm copying it, it all has to be in one phase, so never mind. Never mind. Basics check. How many are you playing? How many are you playing? Oh, are they not? Is this it? Is this it? Yo. Okay, well. See, you know, I guess this is a kind of a real plan against the control decks, huh? Wow, you're only on 3 basics? Or maybe you have one more in your hand? That's crazy. Blood Farm Verge. Okay. Get lost. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can just double Beza for card advantage. Even if they counter this, it's not a huge deal. I have another one. Get on the board. 3 steps ahead. Fine. I don't think you can win this game, my friend. You only have 3 basics in your deck. Play a land. Pass it back. Basics check. Kind of feels good. Kind of feels pretty good. Tap Sacred Foundry. Yep. I bet those Jeskai Revelations in your hand are feeling a little weird. Feeling pretty far away. Let's fire up the Restless Reef. They might just remove it, but that's okay. That'll, if they get lost this, that'll clear the way for my Rise of Sozin. We can also double this Restless Reef trigger to speed up the mill clock, which is kind of interesting. See what else they have going on. I'd imagine this is kind of like a Shiko list. Pretty standard stuff. Just pass it back, hold up this Get Lost. Consult the star charts. I think this is a pretty fun plan. Kind of very classic control feel where you're just on like 4 creatures and man lands, you know? And Rise of Sozin kind of counts also. But I think the flexibility of Sozin is really interesting where it's like, a board wipe that is very, very good in the creature matchups, but not irrelevant in the like controlled matchups and et cetera, et cetera. It's expensive, but we can afford it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still not at enough mana for Jeskai Revelation, and I'm not even sure that Jeskai Revelation gets them back in the game at this point. Let's go for this again. See if they decide to kill the Restless Reef here. Lightning Helix. Okay. I could protect Restless Reef with an... oh, no, I can't. Torch the tower. Okay. RIP. Protecting Beza with the Ings Iceberg is kind of real too, though. Let's play out this Phenomena Recorder, see if they counter it. I think I'm fine paying 3 for a No More Lies here. It might bait them into casting a Jeskai Revelation on their turn, which just is not good, basically. If they do that, I just kind of have free reign to resolve this Rise of Sozin and put them in a real pickle. Fabled Passage. Play a Fabled Passage, start swinging in. They decide they don't want to do anything about this. Okay. We have this instant speed interaction that we can double up, eat both of their tokens, no problem. I could save my Beza here. Saving my Beza is kind of interesting, so it would put me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. They'd go up to 5. In their upkeep, I could sacrifice the Ings Iceberg to... Oh, I guess they're just returning it to my hand. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to go for the Ings Iceberg here. Keep myself from dying to like a silly combo turn. And then I get to sack this for scries for free, basically. Stock up. I'm not like a huge control player guy, but this kind of control list with the Phenomena Recorder, Ings Iceberg stuff, where it's less about the counter magic and more about just literally in its purest form controlling the board, I find it pretty interesting. Get my scry on. Skip this stuff. I think we just want to start like seeing more Restless Reefs. I could pretty freely go for a Beza. It won't draw me a card, but it'll continue to threaten their life total. Maybe I just play the Rise of Sozin here. Kind of makes them counter it. I think that's okay. I can pay for a No More Lies and forces them to use a less than desirable 3 steps ahead if they have that. I think maybe I like name Meringue River Regent if I manage to hit the second lore counter, and then I actually could double it up if I do hit the second lore counter. No More Lies here. That's fine. I'm going to go for a fetch. I think I have another basic left in my deck. One last island. Pay 3. Not really much I can lose to here. Destroy all creatures. They just don't have the mana to do these like big flashy double spell plays. We set them back really far. Set them back really behind early on. River Regent. Okay. Bounces my recorder. Okay. That's probably fine. Probably smart for them to do that. I think now in this position I probably need to name 3 steps ahead. That maybe makes the most sense to me. Wan Chi Tong, No More Lies, Day of Judgment. All right, we get to see what's going on here. Just take them off the hard counter spell. Any river regions left in the deck? Oh, no river regions left in the deck. They're just on the 1 and a Wan Chi Tong. Kind of crazy. No Shiko. I wonder if that's a sideboard option for them. Okay. Day of Judgment? I mean, the thing about these control matchups is eventually your board wipes just become removal for their threats. So, like, you still have interaction for what they're trying to do. You just 1-for-1 them, and it works out fine, you know? And I can see him rip this Wan Chi Tong. Or get lost it, or what have you. Yeah, I'm not really sure they have a way to win. Double the trigger of Rise of Sozin flipping. What does that do? Does it make it flip back into its front side? That's actually maybe just better. I'm gonna try it just because I'm kind of curious. Does it make it like flip? No, because it's a new permanent. Okay. This is just for science. It'll come back in, and then the other trigger will fizzle because this is not seeing the same thing. Okay. But for science, it was fun to try. I kind of figured. Yeah, we just pass. They'll probably flash in. Actually, they'll probably just pass in Day of Judgment this. I'd kind of be surprised if they flash in the Wan Chi Tong. They're just going for it. They're ripping it. Well, you can kill it. Fortunately. I'm doing this right now just to keep my life total high. They don't have a whole lot of ways to win outside of them just like burning me out with Jeskai Revelations and Monk tokens, etc., etc. Seam rip. Fair enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I know they don't have a way to hard counter this. I think I'm just going to play the other Rise of Sozin here. Try to get the Jeskai Revelations out of their deck. I can pay for the No More Lies. Yeah, see, it's pretty relevant, right? It's slow, but it's, I mean, against the matchups where you need to be fast, it wipes the board, you know? Unagi. Okay, I kind of forgot about the Unagi. Let's see what they have going on here. They're going to go for the burnout plan, but their burn gains them life, which sets me up nicely for my Beza to gain me life back. So we'll see. Stock up. Only 11 cards left in their deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can cast a Jeskai Revelation and... Well, I'm obviously going to name Jeskai Revelation here, right? They have Lightning Helix, consult the star charts, 2 more Revelations out of their deck, 1 Lightning Helix left, so a total of 6 points of burn, and otherwise no way to really win. And I can just Day of Judgment this Unagi, and they have nothing they can do about that. GG. Yeah, you and I both know we've got them in the lock. They're just gonna mill out. Seam Rip's looking a little awkward here. I'll just fast forward in the edit to the second game here, I think. There's actually nothing they can do, and if they figure something out, I will leave it in the video, obviously. But good game 1. Got all of the win cons out of their deck with Rise of Sozin. And, and they realize it here. So don't even need to do any editing. Let's go. Let's go. Bring in all of our control plan stuff. Basically, I don't know. Maybe it's overboarding, but It is in a way anticipating that they are boarding, right? I think we leave in 1 authority. Maybe the first Seam Rip is okay. Get Lost are pretty important. We want the monuments. I think we still want the Bezas. It gives them something that they kind of need to be concerned about as far as like a body that could close out the game. Plus the life gain is pretty relevant here. Go down a couple Day of Judgments. Go down the Ultimas. I think the Deadly cover-ups are kind of interesting. 1 Day of Judgment's fine. I think the Virtue of Persistence is probably pretty bad. It's within the realm of stuff that they can answer pretty easily. And it's almost maybe worth considering going down a land. Probably the first land is fine. We can cut a Godless Shrine. I think that's okay. And then, maybe you take out the Authority. I think the incidental life gain is actually kind of relevant here. And go down to Beza. Try it like that. I think the first one's pretty okay. The first Authority. Not necessarily to keep them off of blockers, but the way this Jeskai list wins most of their games is actually just burning you out, you know? Yeah, we'll keep this. We'll keep this. This is just fine. 1 Disdainful Stroke in a Dream. Hit our land drops. Play draw go for a little while. Voice of Victory. Fair enough. Phenomena Recorder. That's a good draw. Sets us up nicely. Kind of forgot about Voice of Victory as a possibility, but we should be okay. We have this Angst Iceberg set up. We can do the ramp thing right now, which will then set up the ramp thing with the Demolition Field. So in a weird way, this is kind of like a Esper ramp deck. It's secretly Esper ramp is what it is. We have a Beza. That's nice too. Consult the star charts. I'm going to play around... I'm going to play around Tishana's Tidebinder here. Just go for the ramp piece right now. Grab an island. Grab a swamp. Yeah, that should be fine. And then next turn we can do the Demolition Field thing to them, which probably won't hinder their mana as much this match, or this game, but will continue to ramp us, which helps us play around their like No More Lies and stuff. I need to consider them having Unagi, I suppose. We'll put the Demolition Field on the field. We'll see if they tap out for anything here. Otherwise, I can go for the Demolition Field thing in their upkeep again, or in their draw step, which would, like if they tap out for an Unagi on their turn, it's not nearly as problematic for us. See what they go for here. Consult the star charts. Yeah, I'm going to do the Demolition Field thing. I guess I'm going to let the Consult resolve. No, because they'll probably skip on basics here. I'm going to do this before the Consult resolves so that they... I guess the idea is, like, if they hit lands, I don't want them to shuffle. Or maybe I do want them to shuffle. I don't know. I guess I want them to shuffle. One basic on the field, pretty good for us. I'm going to hit their Sacred Foundry in the Mistrise Village. Oh! Weird. I wonder why my stop failed there. I guess I didn't have a stop set explicitly. That's okay. We'll still just go for this. Doesn't really change a whole lot. Outside of Tishana's Tidebinder being a possibility, I suppose. Doesn't change a whole lot. They could go for like a big Wanchi-Tong here. I guess I kind of imagine they would have done that before I resolved these demolition field triggers. If they had it, maybe one other thing to consider when firing these off. Okay, they're gonna. I have a feeling after this match they're gonna put a basic mountain in their deck. I do that all the time. It's like you face the demolition field deck one time, you realize, oh, I'm so soft to this, and then you make smarter decisions. Beza doesn't do anything. He gives them a treasure, makes our Beza a lot better. And we can actually double the trigger on the Beza here for extra life. Hold up mana to pay for No More Lies. Do we want the extra life? We won't get an extra card here. No, I think it's fine. We'll probably want to double up this Aang's Iceberg trigger, and we only have one counter left on the Phenomena Recorder. If they go for a Revelation here, we can't counter it, but it's not that good, even if they have it. Our second Beza is actually a pretty good answer to that. Yeah, kind of a sweet deck. Kind of a sweet deck. Pretty happy with how this showcase is going so far. By showcase, I mean this video, you know. When I set out to record these videos, honestly, I record the video. If it's good, I upload it. If it's bad, I probably upload it still. If it's really bad, I just delete it and I send it to the mines. But that doesn't happen super often, thankfully. So you're seeing the honest cut. You know, if I win 3 in a row here, I just won 3 in a row, and that's just how that happened to play out. I guess I don't need to block with this fish, although if I block with the fish, it lets me double this Beza trigger and get extra fish out of the deal. So it probably makes sense to block with the fish. Elspeth. Beza. Double the trigger. Get some extra life. Get some extra fish. If they have a like an Elspeth of their own, that could be a little scary. Stock up. And the bar for being really, really bad, by the way, as to what I tend to not upload, is like me making a really egregious mistake, and I'm just like, oh man, I can't face the embarrassment. I can't face the embarrassment, because we all do it on MTGA, especially, I think, where it's like you're just kind of clicking buttons sometimes. I don't know if that's true for everyone else, but it's like, yeah, I'm just, oh, okay. I was not fully locked in that exact moment, and it cost me my life. Still gonna try to keep my life total high here, I think. Just block the big stuff. We don't have another counter for this recorder, so we can't go for the double Beza play next turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. If we draw another lane, we could go Elspeth into Beza and get a ton of tokens that way. But I'm kind of just looking at this Aang's Iceberg on the Voice of Victory to actually be able to unlock these Disdainful Strokes. Negate's pretty good too. Unlock the Disdainful Strokes, unlock the Negate. Exile this and just pass. Yeah, I think that's okay. We're taking some damage here from their monks and whatnot, but we're doing okay. We're not out of this by any means. 3 counter spells. No more Voice of Victory to worry about. Land pass. Block the Beza here. See what they got going on. I can reset my Phenomenon Recorder here if I want to. I guess I can't do it exactly this turn. Play the Anxiety Spurg, exile it. I need one more source of Waterbend. Oh. Another Phenomena Recorder is kind of nice. Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to go for the Beza here. It lets me hold up Disdainful Stroke and Negate. If they have like a No More Lies, it's a little annoying here, but No More Lies. Yeah, I guess I just let that happen. Yeah, it's a little annoying actually. I need to be able to counter more important stuff, I think. Yeah, just pass it back to him. I can Anxiety Spurg the Beza if it really comes down to it. Quarry Mountain Monastery. Let's see what they hit. A land. Yeah. I probably should have set a stop in that scenario. It's always weird where you expect to get, like, priority. Just something that would never happen in Paper Magic, right? Swinging at me. I'm going to go for the Anxiety Spurg here. I guess they get to tap out and maybe just burn me out, possibly. But I think they would have been able to do that anyway. Negate. Yeah, I kind of need to get the Elspeth on the field for blocks, huh? Not a whole lot to be done about this. If they respond with like a Jeskai Revelation and have no counter backup, then I'm in a pretty good spot. No More Lies. And I just pay for it. See what they got. Consult the star charts. They've already seen 2 of their Lightning Helixes, 1 Jeskai Revelation. Might not be winning this one, folks. Kind of stuck with a lot of counter magic in my hand here. Make some dudes. Jeskai Revelation. Kill me. Okay, yeah, fair enough. For all the marbles. Final match. Final game. Final match. Final game. Beza. I think we kind of wanted Beza every time. Maybe we just bring in the Day of Judgments again. We probably don't need a full 4 Get Lost here, to be real with you. Just having these, like, Day of Judgments probably answers things better than Get Lost does. Maybe bring in a second Seam Rip for early Voice of Victory. Take out the Authority. Try it like this. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this. We have the Phenomena Recorder Demolition Field kind of set up again. I'll just lead on that. Tap land. Negate. Not a bad draw. We don't have access to it quite yet. But we can pretty soon here. I like the sleeves. This is Treasure Hunt, is that right? I could be wrong. Another Demolition Field. Well, play a land, pass it back to him. See what they got going on. Flood Farm Verge. I'm going to skip on this Demolition Field for now. No, that's probably silly. I think I should have gone for this one in the draw step like the other ones, because now they could, I guess, theoretically hit 4 mana for Consult the Star Charts, but they might just play like a X equals 1 Wan Shi Tong here, or they're kind of thinking about it. Grab my blue source so I can open up this negate option. Disdainful Stroke. Okay. I'd like to get my 5th land so I can go for the big demolition field plays. So we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit until we do, I think. Opponent is pondering their options. I wonder what they have in their hand. Just a million Jeskai Revelations and no land? Are they like missing land drops here? That'd be kind of crazy. Okay. Thundering Falls. They could have like an Unagi in their hand right now. I wonder if I bait them. I just hit this Thundering Falls with this Demolition Field. Get my double white online and see if they... I guess they can't flash in an Unagi off of this. Tidebinder. Okay, that kind of makes sense. On the Demolition Field. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's play another Recorder here. Pass with this counter magic back up. We're going to be taking beats from the Tidebinder for a little bit. Really need to just hit land drops, and we're not really doing that, unfortunately. Fabled Passage would be a really good draw. Stock up. I'm just going to go for the negate here, see if they respond to that. Nope. Kind of a tempo play. Spend my mana while I have it. Singularity Rupture. Okay. Pass again. Take another hit from the binder. Anxious Brigade on their end step. See if they tap out for anything. They're still two lands away from Jeskai Revelation. I almost wonder if we should be on like 30 lands. Like we just need to hit our land drops. You know? Star Charts. Swinging in. Take it. Yeah, go for an Anxious here. 3 steps ahead just to counter. Okay. Land. Good draw. Good draw. I suppose we go for... We could just tap out for Beza here. Make them counter it. If they have... If all they have is another 3 steps ahead, kind of a bad use of their 3 steps ahead here, but they could have a No More Lies. Yeah. Double 3 steps ahead. That's not the worst result for us, to be honest with you. I'd really prefer to be casting these, not for tempo, but for card advantage. Beza. Well, I have a pretty good answer to this. Assuming they don't have like a negate. There's a Fabled Passage. I think I just have to go for the Day of Judgment here. And then I can play the Fabled Passage. Hope I draw another land. Looks like they did not have the negate, fortunately for us. And then we can, you know, if they pass through here, we hold up the Disdainful Stroke for the Jeskai Revelation. And if they play it, we just get to wipe the board, basically. Another Disdainful Stroke, pretty good. So we get to kind of play a little bit of draw go for a little bit here while we deploy our Phenomena Recorder plan. Consult the star charts, fine. They might have the... Ooh. They might have the mana to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they can't Jeskai Revelation and hold up mana for like a No More Lies. Oh, did I just skip on this trigger? I'm flubbing all over the place, gang. That's okay. Let's just Demolition Field the Mistrise Village in this juncture, I think. I'm not going to go for the full effect. I need to hold up this Disdainful Stroke, but taking them off of uncounterable Jeskai Revelation I think is kind of important here. Although at the same time, I guess it gives them the extra mana to have Jeskai Revelation and No More Lies. It's, you know, it's all very... There's a lot going on, huh? I guess if they go for that now, though, I get to Singularity Rupture, probably. Let's get our other black source here to be able to do that. 9 minutes left in my opponent's clock. Interesting. Kind of a preferred series. Kind of a good way that this played out, I think. Got to show off the deck in 2 like board-centric matchups, and now we have the grindy one as the last one, so you can skip this one out if you want to. So they have the normalize. They bounce my land. That's gonna be a little bit annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, gang. Once again I flubbed this one. I might not be completely punished here. I get to Aang's Iceberg and double the trigger to eat the tokens here. There's a chance they just burn me out anyway. But I think I kind of punted this one. It's hard to play these decks when you have so many options and you have so many, like, you know, mistakes that would never really happen in paper, where my intention was to fetch and then activate the phenomenon recorder. It's like you just do that, right? But in this, it's like, well, actually, you proceeded through the trigger, the activated ability. You proceeded through that, so now you don't get the opportunity. It's like, well, it's not. I don't have that interface in paper to worry about, you know. Completely tapping out here. Interesting. Well, if I draw another land, the Singularity Rupture might end the game. Day of Judgment. I guess we go for that. Take them off the Voice of Victory. Curious to know what else they have in hand. They might just jam another Jeskai Revelation here. Yep. Bounce my Phenomena Recorder. Interesting. Well, if they don't have any counter magic, this Singularity Rupture could be pretty good. Oh, there's the Lightning Helix. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, I deserve to lose this one. No complaints here. I could have played a little tighter, and the arena interface got me a little bit. Not the end of the world. I thought the deck was doing some pretty powerful stuff, though. I thought we were hanging with the Jeskai Control deck pretty nicely. You know, had I been a little more effective with my Phenomena Recorders and Fabled Passages and had the mana to, like, hold up Disdainful Stroke and Singularity Rupture, etc., things could have gone a little differently. Why don't you learn from my mistakes, you know? We all make them. Learn from mine. Play cleaner. Cool deck, I thought. Did a lot of really nice stuff against the Ouroboros lists. For Beza, kind of an all-star. The Phenomena Recorders played really, really nicely. I think were I to make any changes to this list, maybe I'd play another land or two, since we're just so reliant on it. You could maybe just go down Get Losts, because we're on this Seam Rip Aang's Iceberg plan. We have pretty good answers to most everything, and we just need to get enough mana to hit our board wipe. So maybe you cut a couple Get Lost, play a couple more basics, open up your late game like Demolition Field, Fabled Passages, mana. And our sideboard plan was decent. I will say I kind of felt like the Disdainful Strokes felt a little less important than the negates. So maybe cut a couple Disdainful Strokes for, I don't know, maybe you could even put 3 steps ahead in the sideboard, just as another sort of hard counter effect for those matchups. I thought the River Churn Monuments played pretty nicely. I don't think I got to show it off at all in the video, but in testing, I think they played well. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Fun deck. I mean, I could see myself playing this on the ladder, outside of the fact that, you know, it's a slow control deck. So if you like that, I think this is a pretty cool list. If you, want to win or lose your games a little faster, maybe pick something else. But thanks for watching. I'll be here posting daily. If you're interested in coming back, why don't you, I don't know, subscribe. Maybe throw one my way for fun. And I'll be posting standard brews every day, or maybe some other stuff eventually. But I'm kind of on this grind right now. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know if you'd be interested in watching me stream. It's an idea I've been toying around with a little bit lately. If I schedule something out once every Friday, once a week on Fridays or something like that, and I stream a few hours as I just climb the ranked ladder. If you'd be interested in that, let me know. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.